Hello everybody, welcome to your daily pop of positivity. I was just on screen making a private video for somebody, so I thought I would come on and do your daily pop on camera. Feeling really good and happy. Today's kind of crazy because we have appliances coming in, and you like that window where they're like, oh, we'll come at 2, between 2 on Friday and 5 o'clock on August. You're like, what? Like something crazy, like a 5 or 6 hour window. So I was like, I'll just make sure I'm out in the living area and be ready to receive if it comes in. But I just want to do a daily pop, and what I'm going to do, which I did on the larger channel, was I rediscovered my favorite fairy reflections book, and I just want to pull something up that comes up. Okay, now I love this, and this is crazy because one of my clients, and you'll know who you are, was just talking about crazy thought patterns coming in, interrupting, and being scary, like being overwhelming. So this I love so much. Cultivating constructive thought patterns is key to transforming yourself for meditation practices, for focused thinking, for manifesting, right? And oftentimes the craziest thoughts come in. I have these as well. Like, how are you going to have enough energy for this? How are you going to have enough time for this? How are you going to have enough resources for this? And it starts to like inundate me, and I'm like, why is my brain doing this? And then I realized the brain is always trying to logisticate and plan things out. But this is where we need to intuit. I'm going to have exactly what I need when I need it. Everything's going to be fine. I'm going to be fluid in a flow state, and I'm going to be very flexible. It's really important to integrate that into your life. Otherwise, all these things come in and distract us, right? And we just don't need that. I feel like meditation is a way to really adapt and get your mindset. And meditation for me is going into a beautiful, peaceful environment, like this background behind me. I look at these things all the time while I am studying and working. It brings up my vibration and lowers anxiety. It takes away the rush factor of life, right? Because when we're rushing, we can't see all those beautiful, all the little innuendo, all the hints, all the colors, all the synchronicities and synergies, because we're going too fast. Again, it's like that person in Starbucks dropping their key, their coin, spilling their coffee, because they're in this god-awful rush. But for what? Because when we're rushed, we are not seeing any of this. And this is saying take your time for it. And change right now too, because I feel like change, I feel like on a global scale, people are having huge amounts of new set points for their vibration and frequency, much, much higher, because they're becoming much more self-aware. The adaptability in life is you really have to adapt if you want joy. You cannot be stuck in this thing, because you'll feel like you're on a carousel from hell. Like, oh, I eat the same things, I do the same things, I say the same things, no growth. And that stagnancy makes people very bored and very irritated. So everybody's like amping up for this beautiful change. And it doesn't seek a resting place. It doesn't seek a comfort zone because it wants to know more. It lies within the flow of spirits. It's dynamic. It's striving for greater awareness. And that's what's going to be taking place for you. You're going to be striving for greater awareness. So when I split the deck, this was the card of the day that came up. And I love this, 3 of Cups. This is sharing, caring, self-awareing. It's all of it. It's all the good stuff. It's knowing that if we pause before we speak, we're going to be able to evaluate, is that something that I'd want to hear? Is that something that is really true? Is that something that is helpful, effective, beneficial, so on and so forth, right? Or is it reactionary, right? When somebody says something like, I hate when people say shut up, and I have to really call the need to that too. If people start squabbling around me in groups, and family members don't usually do this. I do live with a family of debaters, but that thing to say shut up, it's so insulting. It's like, let's wind this down or relax or whatever. And when somebody's in a really heightened state, it doesn't help to tell them to relax either. I don't particularly love that, and nobody I know particularly loves that. So it's like, I feel like right now, with the Knight of Swords, what's going to take place for you guys is more centered, aligned, streamlined thinking, calmer, taking it easy, knowing that when we have reverence for what we're saying and doing, we can be much more humble and gracious and centered, because it isn't about being right anymore. Like, honest to goodness, really, who cares who's right? People are so busy in their own life doing their own things that they're really not taking the time to evaluate every little thing you do. It's that spotlight factor, right? Like, so many people think there's this big spotlight on them, and they want to appear to be correct. They want to appear to be stronger. That's ego, like the battle of ego. That's where I think so many misconceptions come in. If you guys watch any of the the Housewives franchises, that's where all arguments come from. Nobody's listening. It's always a battle of egos. Well, I donated this amount of money. Well, I wore this. And she said that. All of this, it's such a waste of time and resources. It's unbelievable. And it's one of those things where now you're like, oop, I'm opting out. With the Knight of Swords opts out of anything low vibrational. It says, no, thank you. This is a waste of time, resources, and energy. And I want to be much more high vibrational. And that's not part of it. So what I'm going to do is step over here and let you guys duke it out, and I'm going to take it easy because I'm tired of this crap. And every once in a while we have to do this with family members, with friends, with clients, with all kinds of people, right? We have to protect our own energy, and by being in flow state and saying, you know, I'm all right over here. I don't need to be always in the forefront. I don't need to be in the mix. I want to protect my energy, and I want to feel good about life, who I am, where I'm going, and what I'm doing. Therefore, it's like, it's a really gracious, graceful place to operate. You feel like you have excess energy to expend. And really, it's an interesting side note is chaos can legit just be popping off all around you, and it doesn't affect you because you realize that's somebody else's energy. That's a projection. That's not me. This is not my problem. I did not order this. I want to cancel my subscription to your issues. Thank you. Bye, you know? And then I want to go watch a screen with this. Like, I love just looking at beautiful, peaceful things, and it helps me recalibrate. So if I get revved up, having so much fire in my chart, which I will because I'm a creative, I want to do all this stuff, I'm like, just bring it down. It's regulating. It's self-regulating. It tells yourself you can have all this, do all this, be all this, experience all this, but let's pace. It's supposed to come stage by stage, not all at once, and trust the universe will bring it to you, and it certainly will. So those are your messages. And I'm really excited. I'm going to be starting, I think, each Friday. I'm going to do a little mini podcast. I was watching some, and I thought, I do see all these other things out in the world that amaze me and that I would love to speak on, and I think are inspirational and helpful, and also just very high vibe. It helps us recognize that we have so much magic power and foresight within us when we look for it, and ways to do that. Because I've been learning to do this. Like, I'm asking my guides all the time, please help me just kind of let the air out of the tires and be able to see the magic that's around me. And I'm being led to new discoveries, and it's really beautiful. So I'm excited for that too. So you guys are the absolute best. Love and light. I'm going to go upload.